Did you know there's a tribe in Africa where young men can jump higher than professional basketball players? It's not a myth or a legend. It's the Masai tribe's Adamu ceremony. But how do they do it? Is it genetics, training, or something more mysterious? In this video, we'll follow Kibo, a young Masai warrior, as he prepares for the jump of his life. You won't believe what we discovered about the source of their incredible leaping ability. Meet Kibo, a young Masai man standing at the threshold of adulthood. His heart races with anticipation and fear as he prepares for the Adamu ceremony, a rite of passage that will define his future within the tribe. The Adamu is no ordinary ritual. It's a spectacular display of strength, grace, and cultural pride where young warriors leap impossibly high, their bodies silhouetted against the African sky. For the Masai, the Adamu is more than just a physical feat. It's a centuries-old tradition that showcases a warrior's eligibility for marriage and his readiness to take on adult responsibilities. As Kibo looks out over the vast savanna, he can't help but wonder, will he be able to jump high enough to impress the elders and win the admiration of the young women? The path to becoming a Masai warrior is grueling. Every day, Kibo pushes his body to its limits. He runs for miles across the plains, building endurance and leg strength. He practices jumping techniques passed down through generations, focusing on explosive power and perfect form. But the challenges aren't just physical. Kibo must also learn the intricate customs and oral histories of his people, memorizing songs and stories that form the backbone of Masai culture. Life in the Masai village revolves around tradition. Kibo rises with the sun to tend to the cattle, the lifeblood of his community. He shares meals of milk, blood, and meat with his fellow warriors in training, their bodies fueled by a protein-rich diet that's remained largely unchanged for centuries. In the evenings, he listens to the elders' wisdom, absorbing lessons on leadership, conflict resolution, and the importance of unity. As the day of his first practice jump approaches, Kibo's nerves are on edge. He's seen the great leaps of accomplished warriors, their bodies seeming to defy gravity. Can he possibly measure up? The entire village gathers to watch as Kibo takes his position. He takes a deep breath, focuses his mind, and springs into action. For a moment, time stands still as Kibo soars upward, higher than he's ever jumped before. As he lands, the crowd erupts in cheers. It's not perfect, but it's a promising start. The Masai warrior's extraordinary leaps have long captivated scientists and athletes alike. These incredible jumps often surpass the heights achieved by professional basketball players and Olympic high jumpers. But what's the secret behind their gravity-defying abilities? To understand the Masai's jumping prowess, we need to look at the science of vertical jumps. In essence, a vertical jump is all about generating explosive power. It involves rapidly extending the hips, knees, and ankles to propel the body upward against gravity. For most athletes, this requires years of specialized training and often high-tech equipment. Yet the Masai achieve remarkable heights without any of these modern advantages. So how do they do it? The answer lies in a unique combination of factors that have been honed over generations. Let's start with the biomechanics of their jumping technique. Masai warriors use a distinctive approach that maximizes their natural abilities. They begin with a slight crouch, arms swinging back. As they jump, they explosively extend their legs and swing their arms upward, creating a powerful upward force. This technique, perfected through constant practice, allows them to generate incredible vertical thrust. But technique alone doesn't explain their extraordinary abilities. Genetics also play a crucial role. Studies suggest that the Masai population may have certain hereditary traits that contribute to their jumping skills. These genetic factors, combined with their traditional lifestyle and diet, create a perfect storm for producing exceptional leapers. Speaking of diet, the Masai's traditional food choices may also contribute to their physical prowess. Their protein-rich diet of milk, blood, and meat provides the building blocks for strong muscles and bones. This, coupled with their active lifestyle of herding cattle across vast savannas, creates an ideal environment for developing powerful legs and core strength. As we dig deeper into the Masai's jumping abilities, we discover something truly fascinating. It turns out that Masai warriors have a physiological advantage that sets them apart. Are you ready for this? Research indicates that Masai warriors have a higher proportion of fast-twitch muscle fibers compared to the average person. These fibers are responsible for generating quick, explosive movements, exactly what's needed for those incredible jumps. This unique muscular adaptation is the key to understanding the Masai's extraordinary leaping ability. It It provides them with the explosive strength needed to defy gravity and achieve heights that seem almost superhuman. Picture this, a young Masai warrior named Kibo poised to perform in the Adamu ceremony, an ancient rite of passage. But as he prepares to leap, he's weighed down by a choice that could change everything. Will he soar towards tradition or fall into the arms of modernity? The Masai people, known for their vibrant culture and extraordinary physical abilities, face challenges that threaten the very fabric of their society. Since the early 20th century, they've been gradually pushed off their ancestral lands. European empires seized their fertile territories for farming and wildlife conservation, forcing them into less productive areas. Today, this struggle continues as urban expansion and modern agriculture encroach further on their remaining lands. Climate change adds another layer of complexity to their predicament. Rising temperatures and severe droughts damage the grazing lands vital for their cattle-based economy. These environmental shifts make it increasingly difficult for the Masai to maintain their traditional way of life, pushing some to consider alternatives they never imagined. Despite these pressures, many Masai remain determined to protect their heritage. They continue to wear their distinctive clothing, perform age-old rituals, and pass down their customs to the younger generation. Community leaders emphasize the critical importance of preserving their traditions, viewing it as essential to their identity and survival in a rapidly changing world. But the question remains, how can the Masai adapt to these new realities while holding on to their cultural roots? Some members of the tribe are exploring innovative solutions. They're finding ways to blend traditional practices with modern education and sustainable development initiatives. These efforts aim to create a future where Masai culture can thrive alongside rather than in opposition to the modern world. For Kibo, this tension between tradition and change is deeply personal. As he prepares for the Adamu ceremony, he grapples with conflicting desires. Part of him longs to fully embrace his people's ancient ways, to leap high and prove his worth in the time-honored tradition, yet another part recognizes the need to adapt, to find a place for himself and his community in a world that seems intent on leaving them behind. In the end, Kibo makes a decision that reflects the resilience of his people. He commits to honoring his heritage while also seeking ways to ensure its relevance in the modern era. His choice embodies the Masai's enduring spirit, one foot firmly planted in tradition, the other stepping cautiously but confidently into the future. The moment of truth has arrived. As Kibo steps into the circle, surrounded by his tribesmen, a hush falls over the crowd. Every eye is fixed on him, waiting to see if he can defy gravity and expectations. Will Kibo's jump be high enough to earn respect, or will he fall short of his ancestors' legacy? The Adamu ceremony is in full swing, with the air thick with anticipation. Morani warriors, adorned in traditional attire, stand proud and ready to showcase their strength. The community has gathered, forming a vibrant sea of red and beaded ornaments. Elders watch with keen eyes, while young women whisper excitedly, their gazes following each warrior's movements. Kibo takes his position, his heart pounding in his chest. Years of training have led to this moment, yet doubt still lingers in his mind. He knows that his jump will not only determine his status within the tribe, but also reflect his commitment to preserving their way of life. The weight of tradition and the pull of modernity create a storm of emotions within him. Taking a deep breath, Kibo begins the precise movements that have been ingrained in him through countless practice sessions. He crouches slightly, his muscles coiled like springs. His arms swing back, building potential energy. In a burst of explosive power, Kibo extends his legs and swings his arms upward. His body launches skyward, defying the very laws of nature. Time seems to slow as Kibo reaches the apex of his leap. The crowd holds its collective breath, necks craned to follow his ascent. Higher and higher he goes, his silhouette etched against the African sky. For a moment, it appears as if he might touch the clouds themselves. As Kibo descends and lands with grace, a roar of approval erupts from the crowd. His jump has not only met, but exceeded expectations, showcasing the extraordinary abilities that the Masai are known for. Young women approach, their eyes shining with admiration, while elders nod in approval. Kibo's fellow warriors clap him on the back, their faces beaming with pride. This moment transcends a mere physical feat. It represents the enduring spirit of the Masai people, their ability to maintain their cultural identity in the face of change. Kibo's successful jump bridges the gap between tradition and the modern world, proving that the Masai's unique practices and incredible physical prowess remain relevant and awe-inspiring. As the celebration continues, one can't help but reflect on the broader implications of this ancient ritual in today's world. How will the Masai continue to preserve their extraordinary cultural practices while adapting to the challenges of the 21st century?